Yeah, we can get on. I get on there tomorrow night for a little bit. Lonice, if you want to get back on, we'll get on again
Yeah,
tomorrow.
yeah. I'm reasonably sure about tomorrow night. I wasn't certain entirely.
Okay, it's all good. What's going on?
What's going on? Combine fever, right?
No.
No.
I don't have no combine. I haven't watched anything. I just see the ticker.
No.
I just saw the ticker. I'm like, who cares? I mean,
yeah, who cares? Well, I put it this way: there's been other years where I paid a little bit more attention, but I just really wasn't feeling it at all this year. I just didn't really, you know, the quarterbacks aren't going to throw.
Well, and that's the thing.
I mean, it don't matter what 40 times Jadeveon Clowney
one or
runs.
two of them throw.
Yeah.
Well, but anybody that's anybody that played for a MAC team, or anybody that plays for a team that doesn't get on TV on a regular basis, or anybody that's projected to go the third round or lower, they probably threw. If you're projected to go in the first couple of rounds, the way that it works now, I mean, think about it. 10 years ago, you didn't have this many pro days going on. So the fact that you know that you got pro days going on, it's like they'd be like, I'll run. I guess Johnny Manziel, I'll run the 40 just to get a sweat. Doesn't matter. We know the kid.
Take my shirt off and run.
Yeah, we know the kid can scramble. We know he got skills. Can he throw?
Rain.
Can he throw?
In the dome.
That's the point. There's always gonna be the question: can he throw?
Can he throw?
So they want to get on Clowney for only doing 21 reps. I'm like,
it looks bad, but it don't mean much.
He's gonna be on the field. Okay, yeah, you need strength, but he's not Reggie White.
I mean,
he's not Reggie White.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that much. I mean,
with the club,
just the hump. You ever hear the story that Ray used to tell about James White when the pro scouts came over to look at him? This is like '93 at A&T. Remember James White, the running back we had?
Oh,
the little bowling ball dude. Well, he wasn't little, but the bowling ball guy couldn't nobody tackle.
Didn't he play? What he play? He didn't play for the Chargers, did he? Too?
I don't think White. I don't know if White went to the NFL.
I think
I know James. He was an art major.
Okay.
Okay.
He was from out around the Elizabeth City area.
He's Elizabeth City.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think he's there now, from what I was told. But unless you heard otherwise, but that doesn't matter. Well, Ray told me the story that because he was videotaping it back then, and some of the pro scouts came over to look at him, and they took him into the gym, and James sat down and racked up to 220, and he jacked that thing up something like 38 times, and then just sat up and walked away. And Ray said the thing about it was, we don't know if he actually got tired or if he got bored.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, but as you said, he jacked it up 38 times and didn't make the league. So,
well, yeah. So, I mean, what does it really mean?
None of it means anything. Right. They're gonna look at the tape and they're gonna look at the pro tape.
We hope they look at the tape. Obviously, we've seen cases in the past.
Well,
the tapes.
It's 32 teams. I mean, we know all 32 ain't gonna look at the tape because all 32 probably ain't gonna be interested in certain players. They're gonna be like, we don't even care if he's on the board. We don't want him. That's just the way it is. So.
Just don't take a guy. My point is, just don't take a guy in the first round that you didn't look at the tape.
I mean,
we've seen that happen.
Yeah, Ryan Tannehill. Anyway.
Bitter party of one.
I'm just saying, man.
I guess Pete looked at the tape and didn't like it.
Hey, look, I like
it. Was the only one.
I like him a lot more now than I did when we took him, because I was like, me and Dion was on the phone when that happened.
You called me. What are you talking about?
I was like, what the hell are we doing now? I was like, I'd rather we took another damn D-back. We could have took a D-back.
You did take a D-back. He played quarterback.
Just saying, man. It is what it is. I mean, the combine is, to me, it's just another reason to try to watch the NFL Network during the down season.
No, it is.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's it. That's the only thing I get out of it.
They pushed the draft. They pushed the draft out into May.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, it's like the first week of May or something now.
And then the combine was pushed up.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're
the combine is usually combine is usually a week before my birthday.
Yeah, there's some sort of extended.
I was going to say, why the change in the draft?
Because they want some sort of event to cover pretty much every month in the off season. I forgot what they're doing through March, but it's going to be like obviously some sort of
bunch of damn pro days and
free agency.
And the owners, free agency. Free agency is starting up, and then you got pro days, and the owners will meet again. We'll talk about the N-word rule.
Lonice, I'm sure we'll talk more about this later, but I'm just going to apologize in advance. I didn't watch it. I'm sorry.
You missed something good though. It was pretty good.
I know, boo.
I suppose. I mean, at the time,
it's on the page, Prev. It's on the Facebook page.
Okay. I mean, at the time, I honestly didn't feel that there was going to be a lot, because I've seen these things on TV before, and I didn't really see that there was going to be a lot of new territory covered.
Well, we've seen it before, but what you got to see is Mike Wilbon and Whitlock and Ryan Clark. See,
well, I've already heard this. Here's the thing: I've already heard Ryan Clark on it. He sat in on NFL Network, and as Lonice said, he was very impressive then. Of course, I've always been impressed with Ryan Clark back when he was with the Redskins, and when Ryan Clark left, that was like, you know what? I ought to follow Ryan Clark out the door.
Yep.
That's pretty much what I did. I was like, you mean to tell me y'all let that guy go?
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah,
pretty good pro.
Pretty good player, and you think you can do better with LaRon Land? Okay, we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah, don't talk about that. Again, look at the tape. Anyway,
they did not look at the tape.
But yeah, it was cool to see. They brought Common in there, and then Jamel Hill, of course, was in there in the midst. I thought it was cool to see, they kind of mixed in a couple of different clips from like little documentaries they had did before, and they kind of brought them back and mixed in some stuff they hadn't done before. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was a good discussion. I mean, I guess the biggest thing, here's what I'll say about the whole thing about this. I mean, first of all, to try to give penalties for somebody saying the N-word. I mean,
I don't know how you're gonna govern that, because first of all, how do you know who said it?
Well, here's another thing.
Where's that coming from? How do you know who said it? And are they on the field? Are you throwing a flag, or is it they're on the sideline? You're throwing a flag.
Hold up, could you imagine?
Who's the N-word ref? Who's the ref in charge of the N-word?
That's what I'm saying. There's got to be.
Who's got time for that when everything else you got to govern?
Because some guys, he's got the sideline calls.
Wait
you got the back judge. You got the umpire. Who's got N-word duty?
Hold up. So I was like, could you imagine Richard Sherman making that play on Crabtree, and then they get the interception? Somebody runs up and goes, "Good play, Ma!" 15-yard flag, ball back to San Francisco.
Yeah.
I was like, come on, man.
Yeah.
How
do you penalize that?
And then the other point is, there's other things that people say that, in retrospect, they're a lot worse. There's a lot of other words too that's not nice.
Well,
Well, you gonna take all those words out too?
It's easy for the three of us to say, if somebody had to direct a slur at you, at the three of us, which one is the worst? Okay, that's kind of by default. However, it's not the only slur. So you mean to tell me you're going to penalize that one slur and not penalize any of the others?
Well, see, I would argue that one slur is not necessarily the worst for some of the younger players. For the younger players,
I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, from our perspective, maybe.
Yeah, so I'm saying that was my point. I said it's easy for the three of us to say that, but can you really turn around and say, well, that one is absolutely the worst by far, so that's the one we're going to penalize? No, you can't do that.
You can't do that. I like the point that Jamel Hill made about girls calling each other's B.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then, but if somebody else says it, is a different meaning.
Well, what happens in the WNBA games?
What do you say?
What happens what do they say at the WNBA games? Do they, what do the female players yell at each other?
Who knows?
You know what I'm saying? What do they say?
Who watches the WNBA?
Hey.
Well, that's why I'm asking, because apparently not enough people watch to know. But I'm sure it's not all compliments out there. Ooh, girl,
I mean, and the thing about it too, and the thing about it, it almost, I mean, you couldn't even begin to pull this into like the NBA, but the reason why they have those delays now on the television broadcast is because of cats like Kevin Garnett and some others that word seems to come out a lot. You know, that and the S word comes out a lot.
So, Kevin Garnett is MF.
And that too.
To that end, let it be said right now, you will never see that sort of rule come into place in the NBA.
Man, and cats would be getting kicked out of the game in the first quarter.
Man, you just gonna have to tape their mouth shut before they come out of the locker room.
Cats would be out of the game in the first quarter. I actually had a conversation today with some young heads at the gym talking about the N word, and I told them, I said, I'm not gonna hold you guys accountable for your use of the word. I said, because you came up in an era where it was hip hop and movies, and you know you've been exposed to it in a different manner. Will I tell you to you know, regulate it, you know, legislate it a little bit, make sure you don't go overboard or make it truly, you know, part of your DNA? You know, I would say work on it, but I can't sit here and blame you because I grew up in the 80s. That word didn't exist in 80s hip hop. It barely existed in early 90s hip hop. You know, the movies we saw that word, okay, Boys in the Hood and some other movies like that. But honestly, I heard that word through my family, through people. Yeah. And so I was like, I can't blame my usage of it on arts and hip hop, whatever the case may be. But I tell people all the time, I don't use the word, but I will say the word. You know, I use it more as an adjective these days than I do as a noun. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I tell people you're acting like, you're acting-ish.
You are. Why you gotta act like?
You know, I'll say, look at this cat over here being a, you know, that type of thing. But I don't necessarily go around and say, what's up, hey, what's up? You know, that's not,
I put it this way, there is no ambiguous positive or term of endearment as far as I'm concerned. Certainly not in my adult years. Maybe late high school and college where, you know, my mouth was free to run unchecked. And then as, you know, obviously as I'm moving towards that college graduate stage, I'm like, well, you know, obviously you can't go out into the real world and talk like that. You know, so
and that kind of helps you when you get to a certain level like corporate America and things of that nature, because you know it's one of those things where you check, you're like, oh, you know what, I can't. Yeah,
that day's over with.
Yeah, you have to model yourself to be a different person in the sense of your image, but not necessarily a different person as far as who you are. Yeah. So you just, you know, it's like, okay, you know, because funny story, and that's why I'll maybe talk about it again with Jason. But we had a guy that was a friend of ours, and he would send and emails with that word in it, and he would have emails in it, and he had have that word in the emails, and I was like, so I replied back one day, and I was like, yo, I said, you
don't want to do that. You
might want to chill on that just for the, you know, just start, you know, educating yourself and taming yourself a little bit, dog, because you're gonna slip up one day and reply to your boss and send that word through, and it ain't gonna be cute.
Not gonna go down the way you want it.
It ain't gonna go down. It ain't going down good.
Not going down the way you want it.
It will go down, but it won't.
But now, I do think Jamel Hill made a good point where she was talking about a lot of, I guess, what the youth, what we hear the young people saying nowadays, is a lot of it is because it's a taboo word, so you use it.
But that wasn't too much different from us when we were kids.
We
were told it was not to say it, so it was taboo. So we were so you mom and dad around?
Yeah.
You know.
but the difference is, though, is that we waited for our parents not to be around to use the word and to use profanity, where kids nowadays, they just don't care.
Yeah.
You know, like...
A lot of their parents don't care either, though.
Well, that too. But that's another topic for another day.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but you know what? That's part of the reason. You know what, though? But that's part of the reason why I was like, I mean, I guess I'll check the the tape, the link, and everything. But that was part of the reason. I was like, I'm sitting there betting nobody's gonna bring up the parents because nobody ever brings up. the parents.
But they actually did. They actually
Okay,
did.
good.
I think Common brought it up.
Yeah,
I think
Common
Common
brought it up. And
Yeah, and I think Wilborn, not Wilborn.
Jason.
Whitlock. I think he brought it up as well.
Yeah,
I think he brought it up as well.
But a lot of that, but a lot of that's true. But then, like I said, the difference is, it's like the kids nowadays, they don't care. Because even when I was saying words that I knew I shouldn't be saying, I wasn't doing it like in the middle of the mall with random people that could hear me. It was around my crew. You know, we'd be somewhere, it was confined, secluded, nobody could hear you, but your people.
As me and shout out to PJ.
I've heard the N-word yelled out in the middle of the mall.
Speaking of that word,
shout out to PJ, as we used to say. That's what the dorm room is for.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Everything stays inside the confines of this asbestos.
And the other part of it too is that, you know, I think Jason Whitlock was like, you know, why are we taking a word that we technically didn't create, and now we've embraced it and changed the meaning of it or changed the content of it to make it a better usage or not have the same cruel, or, you know, the root of that word, the cruelty and the evil and all the things that came with that word.
Oh yeah.
Well, my point is this. That's what black culture does. I mean, we've been doing that since
Chitlins.
Since I was about to say, people act like
the vilest food you can imagine, and it's been turned into a delicacy.
Chitlins and pig feet was the stuff they gave us as scraps while they ate the pork chops and the bacon off the pig. We've turned. I mean, you can't go to 50% of the black households in America and not have a pot of chitlins on the stove during Christmas and Thanksgiving. But yet you're gonna get mad at these kids for taking the word and using it as a term of endearment. That's what we did with chitlins. Give me a break, guys. And I personally don't eat pig feet and chitlins. I've never liked it. I've never liked it.
Can't abide by toes. I feel some kind of way about.
But that's what I'm saying. But everybody would be quick to go, oh, he shouldn't say the N-word. Hey, pass me a plate of chitlins. I mean, come on. I mean,
get mad. And the funny part is,
I get
mad.
But that's just get mad when ain't nothing left, right, Prev?
No, get mad when you don't want to eat the chitlins.
No,
I want to fight you when you don't want to eat the chitlins. Am I?
No, but my point is what Jason Whitlock was saying. There's a difference between us having chitlins and taking the N-word and trying to flip it to make it something positive. That's completely two different things. We eat chitlins now, or you grew up eating chitlins because Prev, stop. You don't eat chitlins. We know you're not going to any chitlin socials. We get it.
All I was saying is the analogy of that. That's all I'm saying. And what I'm saying is you can take
it's not a good analogy because it's not the same thing. It's not.
Because they gave us scraps. They didn't care. They
gave us scraps and we used it as a means of survival because we had to eat. Nobody has to use the N-word for survival. No.
Nobody has to eat chitlins.
Not now, no. But we do because they're good. People like them. That's
good?
What you grew up
They're
eating.
good? They're good.
Oh, it's the N-word.
Hey.
So it's the N-word. That's why
I ate chitlins when I was little before I knew what they were, and at the point when I found out what they were, it was too late for me to be like, I don't like them because I'd already eaten them.
Okay,
now, I don't eat them now anymore because you can't eat just anybody's chitlins.
Okay.
My mom has passed away, and you got to make sure the chitlins are good. But that's a different topic. Different topic.
It's a fun analogy, and what I'm gonna say is exactly what you just said.
About a second.
So now, what I'm saying is, I'm not going to blame these kids for taking a word and knowing. And if they know what the root of the word means and they still decide to use it, now at least they know. You know what chitlins are now, and you decided not to eat them.
Or you decided,
a lot of what they do is out of ignorance because nobody ever taught them.
The statement.
No, I agree with that.
Chitlins.
But you can't eat anybody's.
You can't eat just anybody's chitlins. You have got to be sure that the chitlins are clean. I'm just saying.
You gotta hold up.
Just saying.
You know
What you
I'm
don't
not
want are dirty, gritty
I'm
chitlins.
not trying to downgrade the use of that word, the N word.
Pete,
All I was
Pete
saying
on the
is,
same page with the chitlins.
all I was saying is that we have taken a lot of things that were negative and supposedly done to us as oppression and all that good stuff, and we've made those things into positive things for the culture. Am I saying that I want people to find a way to use the N word? No. But what I'm saying
want
is,
any more creative uses of chitlins.
yeah, I don't want. Prev, stop. We off the chitlins. That's my fault. Get off the chitlins.
You know that's his favorite thing, Pete. Okay.
I forgot.
You know that's his favorite thing.
That and Old Panther. Anyway.
Okay, right.
But all I'm saying is, like I told those kids today, I tell them to go look at their history, go read, go listen to people to talk about it, and then make your decision. But I'm not going to upfront blame you for using it, because I mean, as a society, and I think this gets back to the whole NFL thing. As a society, you know, remember 2 Live Crew when they tried to ban them, you know, from using certain words, and then NWA, N-word attitude, they tried to ban them and it didn't work. You're teetering on something like that now, man. And I'm not saying we shouldn't continue to talk about it, but that's where to me, it's getting close to something like that. I mean, you're not going to ban it.
It becomes a pissing contest at a certain point.
Exactly. I agree. It is what it is.
I mean, I've got reasonably high standards, but let's face it, at some point, yeah, it just...
At some point, you got a stink meter in the house. A stink meter. You're going to have a moment. Somebody's going to have a moment.
I put it like this: the most serious,
joke, right?
The most serious conversation I ever had about hip hop with my mother was when she tried to tell me what C. Dolores Tucker said, and I said, "Well, we you know what? Remember when her and Calvin Butts tried to steamroll all those gangster rap, Tribe Called Quest albums?
I forgot about
gangster rap, a Tribe Called
gangster rap, Tribe Called Quest, because that's what they are.
I mean, yeah. So I was just like, okay, Ma, it's time for us to have a talk. Let's turn off the television. You know, that was like
off the television.
Yeah, you know, that was like the adult had to come out and set the child straight on that one.
That's terrible, Prev. I hope she pops you next time she sees you.
I know, right?
Oh, she popped me right then and there.
I'm just saying, man.
And she should have.
As she should have. But the key is that I didn't pop her back and knock her out in an elevator.
Why you gotta talk about people like that, man? Why you gotta get on Little Ray, man? Why you gotta get on Little Ray?
I did not start it.
Why you gotta get on Little Ray?
A piece of sports.
You had to get on Little Ray.
Information.
I don't like that, man.
I like Big Ray to some.
I like Little Ray, man.
I like Little Ray too, but
Little Ray gonna be like Big Ray. I didn't do anything.
No, Little Ray is gonna be.
No, Little Ray is caught on tape.
Willie Horton.
You only saw her in the elevator knocked out. You don't know what happened before that.
No, the police have the footage from the elevator.
Oh, they got that too.
I've been looking for that leak.
My bad, Ray. I tried. My bad.
Yeah, the police, because that's why he's been charged, because the police have the footage. And that's why they both were arrested.
Look, they were doing this, and she was doing that, and then all of a sudden her head hit, and then she went out. I mean, that's it, man.
No, Pete. Remember, I said you know, we can't necessarily rule out chloroform.
We could after we saw the video.
Oh, okay, we could.
we could after we saw the video.
But no, she could have been like tipsy, and then like and then never mind. Okay, it's bad for Ray.
It looks really.
Hey, look, I'm just gonna put it like this.
It's a little sketchy, man.
And in no way am I excusing Ray, and I'm not even going with the Chris Rock saying I can understand because he dragged her out. But I mean, I'm just thinking to myself, what could she? You know, they had some drinks. Mm-hmm. What could she have been talking about that would have set him off like that?
What you mean? What could she have talking about?
I'm just thinking.
A woman that's close to you and emotionally attached to you knows your pressure points,
right.
buddy.
So here's what I'm considering. Right, exactly.
I was about to say that's actually an easy question.
Yeah.
Well, no. I'm married, so
don't do it.
You ain't telling me nothing. But what I'm saying is this: I'm just thinking.
Now you're gonna get 2 slaps to the head now.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just thinking. I'm like, I'm going down the scenarios. Like, what was she yanging about? Maybe she was talking about his mom's.
No.
Maybe she was talking.
See, that's the thing. They say they attacked each other.
Yeah, maybe she was talking about his mom's.
No.
Maybe she was talking about his endowment.
She might have been talking about his game.
Might have been talking about that 3.5 cents per carry from last.
Nah, man.
Nah.
I mean,
that yards per carry didn't set him off.
Man, it could have been anything from her talking about his football game to saw you look at somebody for a long time and stared at somebody while
that's why you weak at Madden.
I mean, it could have been any type of thing. It could have been all types of things. No, girl, I didn't do this. You did. Well, you got the other, and then all this, and then the head hits the wind, and then
I told you not to play black.
Yeah,
in the casino.
Yeah, I'm just saying. And I'm sorry, I'm gonna laugh because I need to laugh. The funniest thing about that clip was when he tried to sit her up. Why did he try to sit her up knowing she was knocked the hell out? I mean, she was just like,
she was a straight rag doll. I was like,
and then the dude walked over and was like, nah, bro.
Nah.
the dude looked at him and was like, nah, bro, that ain't gonna work, dog. You need to just get some help because she's out.
Get some
and then you saw him go like, saw Ray Rice go like this, like why are you getting upset? She the one knocked out. I'm just saying.
Here's what you do: don't get off the elevator. When the elevator hits the floor and the door's open and there's nobody there in front of you, because clearly there was nobody trying to get on the elevator. Hit the button to go back up.
Yeah.
That's what you don't do.
Hit the button. Give her some time to come around.
Because she started coming around by the end of the video.
If you lock it, you set off the alarm.
Who cares?
Okay.
Who cares?
They gotta come get you.
They gotta come get you. But if you're riding the elevator up and down, look, like the kids start pushing
like little Plucky.
Start hitting all the buttons.
The button, the elevator goes up, and then it goes down.
The elevator go down.
It go down.
We will ride that elevator all night until you come around.
Little Plucky boy, hit the button.
Your little woozy getting off the elevator. She's had too much to drink. Now you can sell it. You can't sell it when you're trying to drag her off the elevator and she's
You know what? That's beginning to sound like a Key and Peele skit right there.
Baby Plucky boy.
She ain't come around yet.
That would have been my nickname. My nickname would have been Baby Plucky on that mug, boy. The elevator goes up, then he go down.
Anissa would love hearing that one from you.
Man, Baby Plucky was that dude, boy.
All right.
Baby Plucky, boy. Don't get me started on
Animaniacs, boy.
Tiny Toons, Animaniacs, two of the greatest that in cartoon history
ever.
Mm-hmm. I'm still looking for that Tiny Toons Christmas special.
That was good.
Yeah,
that was good.
That was enough.
I think, yeah, man. So, but anything else going on, man? Before we get off,
what's your NBA peeps carrying pointing guns and. Since we on the spouse tip here.
I heard his girlfriend talk.
Ex-wife.
Lied on him and said, "Oh yeah, he got guns and they loaded." It's like what?
Wife.
Who was that?
Raymond Felton.
Oh.
His girlfriend is soon to be ex-wife.
You know the first question I asked when he got arrested? Is he from Virginia? That was the first question I asked. I gotta ask. I mean, gotta ask. I was trying to figure out if he was from Virginia or not. Just wanted to see if he was one of my peoples.
Reasonable question.
Yeah, they do. My peoples do things like that. We're not satisfied with making millions of dollars and working out and playing a game for a living. We're not satisfied with that.
It's not real to y'all until y'all get a rap sheet.
Nah, it's not real.
I mean, Lonice, you gotta understand. It's like, having grown up in Richmond back in the bad old days, the Bradley brother days, the #1 per capita days,
the oldest person hostage for New Year's Eve to New Year's Day to be the first person to die days.
Well, that was one year, and then the other year was a guy just flat out blasted someone and then told the cops he wanted to get a first to kill somebody days.
Yeah.
Then,
God.
yeah, that was Richmond.
It's real.
So
It got real.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes. 804. So what
That's
I was
impressive.
you know, that's where I went to A&T. So basically, you know,
They
you
shot
hear
it.
this
They
news.
shot. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and you hear the news, and like you said, somebody put a gun in somebody's face, or somebody shot somebody, or something like that. You go, well, you start classifying the crime. Okay, that's Virginia Beach. That's that's Richmond. But then your boy Lonice, your boy had to go and mess it up for everybody.
Ooh.
To a whole new level.
Darren.
Oh,
Darren
Darren.
Sharper.
Yeah.
Darren
Because
Sharper.
that ain't no Richmond crime.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Michael Vick.
That dude too.
Nah, that was pretty much
That's a Virginia crime.
yeah, that's pretty much a
I
Tidewater
told you.
crime.
I told you the first.
Yeah, that's pretty much a
the first
Tidewater
time he
crime.
said he didn't fight dogs, I was like, he is going to jail.
Well, I
Like-
mean, the
I was like,
funny thing was,
4 degrees of separation. I know at least somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that knows that he was fighting dogs.
oh, I knew it before
that
he
wasn't
was.
what
I
he
knew it
went to
before he
jail
got arrested.
for.
Oh, he went to jail for lying about it. That's what he went to jail for.
And for running and for having gambling across state lines.
Mhm.
That's why he went to jail.
He lied to the government.
Because the government
He
didn't
lied to the feds because the feds
that's
got
it.
involved
You
because
don't
he
mess
because
with
the
the
government didn't get their cut and he lied to them about it. That's what that was for. At the end of the day, it wasn't for killing the dogs because the government really don't care about that. They were concerned about the fact, and sorry for the people that are dog lovers and hate Michael Vick because they're dog lovers. Yeah, here truth moment. He didn't go to jail for killing the dog. Sorry, the government doesn't care.
Nah, hey.
He went
ain't telling me
to
nothing.
jail because he was gambling across state lines and he lied to the federal government about it. And oh, by the way, he didn't pay anybody off in the federal government to grease the wheels.
I can't.
by the time he
I
tried,
blame-
it was too late.
I blame his attorney. I mean, come on now.
Yeah, but
Well, no,
here's
what a Lincoln
here's my
Local
thing:
do?
if you're going to run an illegal gambling ring, don't bankroll it by signing your name on the deed to the house. All that stuff needs to be in your boy's name. I'm not signing. I might bankroll it with the money. I'm not signing any paperwork. You're not going to be able to paper trail that back to me.
Lonice,
If you're not a
Lonice.
smart gangster, you're not supposed to be a gangster.
Well, I mean, hold on.
Well, like Steve
You know,
Harvey said,
most
stay out the
gangsters get
house.
caught. But most gangsters get caught because they're greedy, not because they're not smart. I mean, they're usually intelligent because they were intelligent enough to put the process together to run it to make the money. They just get greedy. He wasn't a smart gangster. He was a football player. I mean,
And you know
well,
what?
the big
If you
thing
don't
he
know
was-
ran
anything
fast
about
and
being
threw
a-
hard.
If
He
you don't
ran
know
the big
anything
thing
about
was-
being a gangster, stay out the house.
I mean, well, Lonice, here's what you got to know. Because there's at least two people I can think of who I work with by association, and they had peoples that was over there involved with it. I mean, like I said, it wasn't exactly uncommon knowledge around here before he got arrested. There was a lot of folks that, and I mean, it is basically, I still don't know exactly what happened, but nobody went over there sniffing around specifically over some dogs. Something else brought that about because it wasn't like the local cops didn't know. Of course they knew. Too many people around here already knew. So again, sorry dog lovers. There was a lot of law enforcement that let a lot of dogs die, before somebody decided to take action.
I ain't gonna be caught.
No. Let the truth be told.
We
Tell
know
the
the
truth and
truth.
shame the devil, Pete. Tell
I
the
mean,
truth, shame the devil.
I like a dog myself, but I wouldn't
Love
fight
dogs.
no dog.
Just
Don't
tell
say
me
that
that's
too
not why
loud.
that man went to jail.
Right. Yeah, man.
That's why I believe dogs should be outside creatures.
When it did happen,
Dogs
though,
should be what?
Outside creatures. I've never had an inside
what they
dog.
got?
I don't
had an
disagree
outside
with
dog,
that.
and I
I
can
don't
tell
disagree
you
with
that
that.
didn't really have a whole lot to do with it.
Right.
Inside dog. Because that way you don't have to get up and walk them. They handle all of that. Just train them to go to the back of the edge of the yard by the wood piece, and then you don't have to clean up anything.
She said by the wood piece.
By the wood piece. That's what we did. All my dogs, outside dogs. We had a big yard. You train them to go to the bathroom by the wood piece way at the back, so you don't have to clean nothing up. You're not stepping in those surprises.
You probably had more yard than we did.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of yard, Yeah, so I don't.
You got enough yard.
Dump food and water out there on the porch and keep it pushing.
Charlie, why have a dog if you ain't gonna play with the dog and be with the dog?
I mean, when you play with the dog and stuff, but you didn't have to get up at 4 in the morning to take it walking. Nah, you get all the exercise you needed.
Train your dog to hold it. So you get up.
You train your kids to hold it.
That's what I'm saying. You train the dog. You put the paper down.
Prev is the one talking about getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Because Prev is extreme. He ain't get up no 4 o'clock. He ain't never got up no 4 o'clock in the morning and walk the dog.
No.
Come on, Prev. Dude, unless he was already up.
I had to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and go shut that little mug up a couple times. But...
Yeah, I can understand that.
Shut up. Shut up.
Yeah, I can understand
you barking
that. Especially in the puppy stage. Bro, they get to barking, but shoot. But all right, man, I'm gonna go ahead and get off. We'll do
see what's what tomorrow.
Yeah, it's all good.
All right.
All right, then don't know nobody out.
All right. Man, later, man.